We often mistake the symbols of wealth for wealth itself. In our 20s, the pressure to look the part is at an all-time high, but there is a hidden cost to maintaining that image. It's not just the money spent, it's the time your money loses. Every dollar used to look rich today is a worker you fired from your future. What if you could keep those workers and let them build for you instead? The core problem is a behavioral trap called lifestyle creep. As you climb the income ladder, each new expense makes the last one disappear, so your safety net vanishes. When our income rises, we tend to raise our overhead to match it instantly. This creates a wealth gap that never actually widens. Think of your income as water flowing into a bucket. Looking rich often means poking holes in that bucket to impress people you don't know. Historically, the most effective way to build wealth is to plug the leaks early. See? As we cover each leak, the level steadily rises. That's the power of early intervention. Let's look at the math of $1,000. Spent on a luxury watch today, it's worth exactly one watch. On average, invested in a broad market index, that same $1,000 has a different story. In many cases, after 30 years, it could grow to over $10,000. That's a $9,000 status tax you paid in your 20s. The goal isn't to live a life of deprivation. The goal is to move from looking rich to being wealthy. Wealth is the luxury cars you didn't buy and the vacations you haven't taken yet. To break the cycle, we have to look at the social tax of your peer group. We often spend money to keep up with people who are also broke. This is the status treadmill, running faster just to stay in the same place. The first step to escaping is defining your internal baseline. What do you actually need to be happy, regardless of who is watching? Typically, that number is much lower than your current spending. Historically, the gap between those two lines is where your freedom is born. Let's quantify the new car trap. In many cases, the monthly payment is $500 or more. Over 5 years, that car loses 60% of its value. But if that same $500 was diverted to a low-cost index fund, on average, after 10 years, you'd have nearly $80,000. The car is a liability that steals your energy. The investment is an asset that provides it. We call this opportunity cost, the invisible price of every decision. Looking rich is expensive because it requires constant maintenance. Being wealthy is quiet because it maintains itself. Now, let's address the psychology of the big purchase. Most people buy the most house the bank will allow. This is known as being house rich and cash poor. Historically, housing is a place to live, not always a wealth builder. What happens when you choose a modest home instead? You unlock dry powder, capital ready to be deployed. This capital is your ticket out of the paycheck trap. In your 20s, time is your greatest multiplier. A single dollar invested at age 20 is worth significantly more than one at 40. When you spend to look rich now, you are literally burning time. The math doesn't lie, but our emotions often do. We feel a dopamine hit when we buy something new, but that hit fades, leaving only the bill and the clutter. True confidence doesn't need a logo to lean on. Let's talk about the Instagram effect. We compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. This comparison is the thief of both joy and capital. Typically, the people posting the most luxury are the ones with the least equity. Real wealth is invisible. It's the peace of mind in your bank account. In many cases, the quietest person in the room is the wealthiest. They don't have anything to prove. What tends to happen is that discipline becomes its own reward. The snowball effect takes time to start, but it's impossible to stop. Your 20s are the time to build the base of that snowball. Every no to a temporary luxury is a yes to a permanent freedom. Let's define the lifestyle gap strategy. 2 lines. a navy income line going up, a soft blue lifestyle line staying flat. As you earn more, keep your expenses where they were when you started. This creates a massive surplus, your wealth engine. Historically, this is how ordinary earners become extraordinary investors. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. The hidden cost is the stress of a fragile life. Wealth is the safety net that lets you walk with confidence. When you aren't chasing status, you can chase opportunity. You can take risks that others can't afford to take. You can quit a job you hate because you have a freedom fund. This is the emotional upgrade that a luxury car can never provide. In your 20s, your greatest asset is your lack of baggage. Don't trade that lightness for a heavier lifestyle. Keep your footprint small so your future can be large. The math of compounding is simple, but the psychology is hard. It requires saying "not yet" to things you want right now, but "not yet" eventually turns into "I own this forever."
Typically, the shift happens when you value your freedom more than their opinion.
This is the momentum shift. Once your assets generate more than your lifestyle costs, you've won the game. You no longer work for money, your money works for you. Start by keeping your big three, housing, transport, and food, low. Invest the difference before you ever see it in your checking account. This is the practical framework for long-term success. Your future self will thank you for the discipline you show today. The hidden cost of looking rich is too high to pay. Choose wealth instead. It's a much better look.